Welcome back to another reaction to Easygoing Territory Defense from an optimistic Lord thingy. Man, these names. These names. So we had a setup. Someone who seems to be smart, got reincarnated, he learned a lot. He is very good at, maybe not very good, but he does know how to fight. And he did not get one of the major elemental magic, but he got production magic. And because of that, he got more or less exiled to a border town. And this is where the story, I assume, really starts. Again, was a setup. We have our maid with us. We have our sword trainer. We have the butler. We have our slave. And we will see. We will see how this continues. I hope we get a little bit more of a city builder instead of being OP stuff, and a little bit more interesting. Let's see. Right. There we go. Okay. So you are able to transform a stick into a metal knife.
それって生産系魔術ですよね。
And the whole point is, oh, do you know why production magic is so bad? Because a normal person without magic can do production. Yeah, can he turn a fucking stick into a sword? No, he can't.
少しずつ試してみようと思って。適正
This is always a problem in a lot of magic. You just need to know how to use it. I do not remember what exactly it was. Stop burning that witch, I believe. I don't know what, I believe it was manhwa. I'm not really sure. But there is a show where you have a guy who I believe also got isekai'd, and he stops witches being burned because they have specific magic. Now he's using that magic to use in production, or general in more or less the furtherment of his city. And you have different types, and it's all about how you use that magic. Not necessarily what type. But you do need the knowledge to be able to use that magic efficiently.
お持ちなんですね。何かいい使い道があるといいんだけど。
Again, taking a stick, making it into a sword is insane if you can do that. Because this would mean he can do transmutation. Turn elements into other elements. So in this, we did hear that there's not really much going on in this border town. There is, they border another country, they are bordering another noble family, which potentially has a little girl in the opening, who knows. However, they do border the mountain, and the mountain has a lot of ore, supposedly. However, it is protected by strong monster. And I can see maybe that we get access to that ore and transform it into whatever we need. Stone, clay, wood, or the other way around as well, so we can make whatever we need. Not even talking about if we get access to the ore and we get rid of the monster, we instantly have the town is going to be worth a lot more, because we can now acquire a lot of ore, which is essential for whatever production. So people are going to be interested in, a lot of trade is going to come to the city, increasing prosperity, and you have a somewhat wealthy town, as long as the ore veins hold more ore.
村に着きますよ。ついにだね。結構遠かった。カムシンもいいんだよ。もし嫌になったら公爵家に帰って。
He cannot. Essentially, the first real sentence he's speaking in this episode is stupid. He cannot return, he's your slave, first off. Second, he's not even, the Marquis doesn't want him. He would probably kill him if he was to go back to the manor. That's the whole point. He was only allowed in the manor because he's your slave. And by that, a real slave, not a, oh, I now have a slave.
でも奴隷契約は解除できるみたいだし、ムルシア兄さんに頼めば面倒を見てくれると思うよ。
僕は一生をバン様に捧げると決めています。どんな時もそばで命を懸けて仕えていきます。
プロポーズ？カムシンそんなに僕のこと好きなの？
はい、大好きです。崇拝しております。
カムシン、ちょっと重いかも。どうしたの？
I guess a monster?
まずいです。
Monster.
村が何者かに襲撃されているようです。
Attacked by what? Bandits? Why are bandits attacking the town? The whole point was that, hey, this town doesn't have anything going on. It has no real value. So why would you attack the town? Not that you get anything. Sure, you can kidnap people. Maybe sell them, depending. This is where the question comes in. Is there slave trade? Is there no slave trade? We don't really know exactly. We know you can sell your child, seemingly. Which I don't really know how often that was in the Middle Ages and if that was considered slavery. But we will see. Because otherwise they don't really have a reason to attack the town. Proper way to use weaker magic. Okay, the last thing I want to see is him using production magic offensively. In a stupid way. If there's a smart way to do that, okay. I'm listening. But if he just uses production magic instead of like fire magic to kill people or, you know, defeat them, then...
傭兵崩れでしょう。どちらも戦はやり慣れています。
村は柵に囲まれているが、弓矢には全く効果がない。門の前には頑丈そうな者たち。村人たちは亀のように守り続けるしかない。相手はざっと見積もっても50人はいる。それに比べて。
バン様、参戦の許可を。我々が全員でかかれば何とかなるでしょう。
ちょっと待て、この人数では危険すぎる。
冒険者のオルとか危険は承知だ。負傷者も死者も出るだろう。だが間違いなく撃退はできる。
俺たちは村までの護衛として雇われただけだ。
Right. So my assumption was that the Knight Commander was strong enough to potentially defeat them all alone. They have a whole group, they potentially could defeat them. However, the adventurers did not get paid for that. They only got paid for transportation and guarding. So they don't really have any incentive to fight and potentially die.
仲間を死なせるような依頼は受けない。
I mean, you did essentially accept a quest like that, but sure. You are less willing to, you know, go to quests that are all risk, no reward, essentially.
あの村は我が主君の最初の領地。村人は最初の領民である。
None of this is true. Still, we are not in the village. We did not really take hold in the village. We are the village head in name only at the moment, if at all.
それが危機にあるとき、剣を抜かずしていつ抜く？
それは立派な騎士道だがね。
And these are adventurers. They don't care.
あいにく俺たち冒険者には関係ない。
ならばせめて貴様らにはバン様の護衛を頼みたい。状況によっては避難してもらってもいい。
それなら
反対します。もしリードロが死ねばこの村を統治したところで先はありません。
じゃあどうしろと。
私も腐っても4元素魔術師、戦闘力には期待してください。
は？あんた戦えるのか？
まずは私が防壁を築きます。冒険者の皆様は防壁の裏から遠距離による攻撃を行ってください。敵の目がこちらに向いたらリードのたちが横から突撃します。奇襲の重ねがけならば勝率は高いでしょ
う。もしかしてエスパーダは残って戦うつもり？
もちろんです。おとりとして防壁の裏から私が攻撃を続けねばリードのたちは犬死にでしょう。
それはダメだ。エスパーダが死んじゃう。
最後にこの老骨が見せ場をいただけるのです。このわがままだけはお認めください。
エスパーダ、これまで公爵家に貢献してくれたあなたがこんなところで死んじゃダメだ。D たちもだ。君たちはまだ本家の騎士団の所属だ。何かあってはいけない。それに戦略に長けたエスパーダと戦闘力の高い D を失えば領地を発展させることはできないだろう。そうなれば父上は僕の命を。
I mean, you can just run away. However, yes. You don't have a lot of capable men at the moment. The couple you have, you should probably keep. D, as example, he can foster a lot of new recruits, train them well for more protection. He has a lot of value. The butler as well, he has a lot of knowledge. He is an elemental mage, meaning he potentially could teach people more about magic. He also has a lot of extra knowledge. He did teach our guy a lot. So they are very valuable to keep around for the future of the village. So this means our guy is coming into play. I'm assuming if I were to write this story, I would let him make a ballista or whatever. So you can fight off the enemy.
おとりには僕がなります。
絶対にダメです。バン様がおとりになるくらいなら私がやります。
First off, how is it going to help if Van is the... He's called Van, right? Van? Veen? Little boy. I'm so bad with names. What does it change if you are the decoy? Not really much. Now, there is potential for him if they make it clear that he's a son of a marquis, because then the bandits would want to get him alive because a lot of money. Additionally, the maid could potentially be also very good distraction, because again, they would probably want her alive. Homeboy, slave boy, no one cares. Essentially.
僕も行きます。ティル、大事な人が死ぬところなんて僕は見たくない。カムシンも本来は自由の身なんだからね。ちゃんと自分の人生を楽しんでほしい。僕が馬車に乗って正面から攻めます。みんなは左右から遠距離攻撃をお願いします。
しかし
僕は毎日騎士団副団長から剣術の特訓を受けてるんだよ。そう簡単に死ぬと思う？たとえそうなっても領主が領民のために死ねるなら本望。僕の死体は打ち捨てて構いません。名乗らなければ公爵家に迷惑はかかりませんからね。
Would it though? It wouldn't. I feel like the house could spin your demise in a good way. They could, they send him out here, take control of this outpost that is not doing well. We know he's, they make him out to be a genius, very smart. He wanted to go out, he wanted to help his people. 1,000 bandits attacked and he heroically fell in battle. You know, this would most likely strengthen the Marquis house name because they sacrifice themselves for their people and, you know, makes them more likable by the common folk instead of being a disgrace.
貴族の坊ちゃんの護衛ね。大体貴族なんてのにろくなやつはいねえ。高飛車で平民や俺たち冒険者を見下してやがる。
まあそうかもしれないわね。
だったらどうして依頼受けたんすか？
しばらくフェルティオ公爵領にいるつもりだったからな。
Ah.
仕方なく受けた。
So he was like, you know, I wanted to stay there as anyway, do some jobs over there, which okay. Would explain why he took the job there. Because the way home would be free, essentially. So yeah, it makes sense. Or maybe he was like, hey, I'm transporting them there, I'm doing a couple jobs until someone wants to go back, if some kind of merchant, and then you protect them back.
だけだ。
あなたが冒険者のオルトさんですね。バンレイ・フェルティオと申します。護衛をしてくださるそうでありがとうございます。
よろしくお願いします。
強そうですね。歴戦の勇者みたいでかっこいいです。
いや、そうでもないですよ。
オルトの旦那、貴族なんてのにろくなのはいねえって言ってなかった？
じゃあよろしくお願いしますね。
護衛隊。
Why is Homeboy alone? I'm assuming this is in the town, in the main city. So why he doesn't have any guards?
護衛大将は普通の子供の。
They did say that he went into town and played with other children. I still assumed he would have some kind of guard.
のようですね。
敬語はやめていただかないと。
珍しい貴族もいるもんだな。わかった。今回だけだ。俺たちも命を預けよ
いや、オルトさんたちは。
う。子供が命をかけるって言ってんだ。これ以上ギャーギャー言ってたら仲間に怒られちまう。なあ。
正直私は貴族の覚悟ってのをバカにしてたわ。これまで口ばかりの貴族しか見てこなかったから。
プルリエルさん。
私たちみたいな冒険者の名を一人一人覚えてくれるなんてね。だから命を預けられると思う。
我らは公爵家に仕える名誉ある騎士。ここでバン様を守ることは公爵家の未来を守ることになると思っております。
とはいえ領主として無責任な作戦はいただけませんな。撃退が完了したら公爵家の跡取り候補の重みと責任についてしっかり学んでいただかないと。
So still the consensus was, hey, if we fight them all off, we may incur some sacrifices. So even if we change the strategy a bit, we still are going to get some sacrifices. I'm assuming people just get injured and not killed, but...
では、私が提案した作戦を修正し実行いたします。まず私が防壁を作り遠距離から攻撃。リー殿たちは左側から、オルト殿たちは右側から突撃をお願いします。
了解。
So we are not doing the carriage idea anymore.
もう防壁が。
あの執事のじいさんがこれほどの魔術師とは。
旦那がもし坊ちゃんの頼みを断ってたら代わりに命をかけてもいいって思ってやしたぜ。
ああ、ありゃ大物だ。できることなら俺はあの坊ちゃんに王様になってもらいたいね。
野郎ども、矢を放ち続けろ。こんな村い。
So no one, you know, felt the little tremor of like a fucking wall appearing behind. Huh?
こりゃ楽勝だな。
ice arrow? Oh, because of the butler. Now this would make perfect sense for the village to come out and attack as well. Especially because they probably can see that these, you know, fighter are from their... Right, I forgot. They recently got acquired. So essentially they are unhappy and they don't really have a master, or they don't acknowledge anyone controlling them. So they have no reason to go and fight alongside these guys. What decoy? I'm assuming now our prince is going to come in as well and fight. Very agile. Again, I assumed he would be alone. He would be enough alone. This is where Prince comes in. Or Kasim, the life boy. Why would he stop his attack? Okay, we took a couple. Okay, I was, you know, why did we kill the dude that seemed to be the chief or seemed to be very important? I feel like he could have had some information for us to take. But okay, we took some other people in just to see if there's something going on. Is there a bigger bandit group? Why did they attack here? You know, there is information you can acquire. I also don't know if there is maybe some benefit turning them in. Maybe you get like a little obelisk of, you know, compensation. Otherwise, I don't know. In this case, imagine Middle Ages. You have magic, sure. You have a little village. It's at the beginning, you know, it's not doing too well. You now have a lot of bandits. You ask them all the questions. And now you have a bunch of guys. I feel like you would just kill them. You would just get rid of them all. Again, unless we can sell them. But otherwise, it makes sense to just get rid of them. Maybe you can enslave them all, which I would do, and have them work in, you know, some kind of miscellaneous shop. I would like some injuries, make it feel a little bit close. You know, some people are a little bit more injured, some out for, you know, a couple weeks. No one necessarily dying, but some people at least have taken some damage instead of having, you know, the perfect strategy going
あ
on.
とは報酬をもらえばこの依頼は終わりだが、
どうしたの？
いや、ちょっと興味が湧いてな。
坊ちゃんですかい？
ああ、金にはならないかもしれんが、ここに残ってみないか。
Wasn't this the point? Or did you want to go to the neighboring kingdom, or maybe to the other noble area that is in the vicinity? But I assumed you would stay here, do a couple jobs until someone wants to go to the next city. Who's the guy with the paper? Does he have a bunch of maps? Is this one big adventurer group? I assume the right side would be adventurer. Or is it like two different adventurer groups?
悪いなオルト、俺たちは次の依
Oh,
頼
it
が
is two different
って
ones.
な。
あ、気にするな。また頼むよ。
すまない、またな。
お達者でー。
I mean, there's nothing to apologize. He's just interested, you have a different job. In the end, we all try to make ends meet. So, don't apologize for what you need to do.
私は残るわよ。
あ
さっき助けられちゃったしね。借りは返さないと。
あれは子供とは思えない動きでしたね。
This, you know, the one saying that is a big round dude that is like a thief assassin. Super fast, super agile. I mean, you are the last person that should be saying that.
まだ10歳にも満たないとか。
不思議な子だな。
そうだな。そして俺が知る貴族の中では誰よりも好ましい。
間違いないわね。
あの子の作る領地がどんな場所になるか見てみたいもんですぜ。俺も。
俺もだ。
なあどうだ。ちょっとの間あの子の手伝いをしないか。
Hmm? No clue what you want to help with, but sure.
また危険なことを。次からは私の命を先にかけてくださいね。分かったよ。かけるかける。適当に返事してるだけじゃないですか。アムシン助けて。
バン様、見事な勝利でしたな。
みんな。
You shouldn't forget that the butler did have a couple choice words at the end. I feel like you have to sit there for a while and listen to what he's going to rant about.
お疲れ様。
バン様、村人たちが入り口の前に集まってきている気配が。
Again, this village, newly acquired, they probably don't like him, so he has to do a lot of work. He did protect them, which already a couple plus points, you know. But still, this is a fresh occupation.
します。
うん初対面だ堂々と行こう
Okay. So we have a giant palisade. We have some little farm plots, couple buildings. "23 buildings? I don't know how many you would count for each building, but I would say like 4 or 5 people per building. So there's like 100 people living here. The palisades are just giant. You are those. I don't feel like you are able to keep up the maintenance for this giant palisade with so little, you know, people.
思っていた
What? Oh, look at this. This is not a. Oh, look at this village. It's like, oh.
思っていたより広い村ですね
What is going to stop you from expanding? You can make the village as big as you want.
でも
You could even move it a bit, at least.
なんか
はじめまして、新たな領主となります。バンネイ・フェルティオです。
村長をしておりますロンダと申します。この度は村を助けていただきありがとうございます。
They feel a little bit different.
以前にも
I feel like they're like a different ethnic group,
こんなことが
which would make sense because newly acquired territory.
はい、今年だけでも数回襲撃を受けております。
なぜそれほど村が狙
Thank you for asking. I was thinking the same question.
われるとお考えですか？
かつてフェルディナット伯爵領時代には騎士団が巡回してくださってましたが、
Okay.
今ではそれもなくなってしまいました。
つまりフェルティオ公爵領になってしまったせいで村は存亡の危機にあるということですね。申し訳ありません。我が父フェルティオ公爵は小さな村々の状況を未だに把握できていないのです。
それは小さな村はないに等しいほどの税しか納めない保護すべき価値のない村だと。
I mean, essentially, because the whole point is you pay taxes, you get protected. Now it should be on the owner or leader to make your village more prosperous in some way. There's always a strategic value you can put on places, but if your village does not produce anything of value, so you don't provide anything to the kingdom, then it's probably better to move away the village. And it still did not really explain why they got targeted by bandits. It's like, okay, you are not under protection anymore. Okay. You still have nothing to really gain unless they want to kidnap people.
この国のあり方に文句を言っても仕方がありません。
あんたら貴族がそれを言うのか！
落ち着いてください。僕はこの村の未来の話をしているのです。確かに貴族の責任は大きい。元を正すならば王国を起こしたベルリネート王家の定めた法に欠陥があったのでしょう。だけど王国の法ベルリネート王家の定め
Laws laid out by the kingdom's founders, the Belrinets.
た法に欠陥があったのでしょう。だけど王国の法を変えることはできない。では我々はこの村をどうすればいいか。
So that they don't get protection because of some laws? It's probably like I said, that you have to provide taxes, and depending on how much you provide, that is how much protection you get in the end.
具体的な対策は3つあります。1つ目はこの村に王国が無視できないような
Exactly, which is most likely the mountain range.
価値を生み出す。2つ目は定期的に金銭を稼ぎ傭兵を雇う。
Okay. This is not a very long-term idea. Short-term, fine. Long-term, mercenaries are not very loyal. It would be better to have D produce, more or less standing soldiers or protection in some way. Doesn't necessarily need to be soldiers. Could be like a police force that is going to help defend the city. However, that is something that takes time and can't be done quickly, like the mercenaries or adventurers for that case.
3つ目は自ら村を改造して発展させていく。
それらは私たちも考えました。しかしどれもたやすく実現できるものでは。
これまでは難しかったでしょう。しかし新たな領主として僕が来ました。これからこの村の防衛や発展に尽力いたします。
Yeah, he is still a little child.
全然信用されてないな。
横から失礼いたします。私はフェルティオ公爵家の筆頭執事を務めておりましたエスパーダと申します。バン様は8歳にして領主を任された才人であり、幼少期より神童として知られております。
さらに僭越ながらこの私フェルティオ騎士団副団長たる D も部下として馳せ参じました。大船に乗ったつもりで任せていただきたいと思います。
筆頭執事殿と副団長様。
そんな重鎮がこんな村に。
ではバン様は四元様魔術
So this is more important to the common folk as well?
の使い手で。
僕の適性は生産系魔術なので戦闘力には期待しないでください。
It is also, you don't want anyone focused on combat magic. You want someone who's doing the other steps, so the village is more prosperous, and as you provide more taxes, you get more protection.
いや探れるぞ。確かに自分でもまだ能力を把握できてないけど。
ゼイはどうなるのでしょう。これまでは収穫物の3割を収めるのにすごく苦労して。
Now this is a good question. Who decides the taxes? Is it every mayor? So he as the leader of this village is now going to try, he's deciding 30%. Is it the country? Or better said, the marquis who decides the taxes? If so, I believe this would still go through Van. He probably has to gather all of them and then send them off.
それならしばらくは収穫物の1割にしましょう。まずは安定した生活を送ってもらうことが重要です。
1割ですって。
信じられん。
助かった。
では手始めに村の防壁を強化します。エスパーダ、土の魔術は持続する
？Probably wouldn't have cut it down to 10%, maybe to 20%, and then kept 10% for myself, or better, not myself, but in a separate storage for worse times.
発動中は高度を保てますが、魔力を失えばただの土の塊となってしまいます。
じゃあいずれはしっかりとしたものにするとして、今は応急処置でちょっと土の壁を作ってくれないかな。
わかりました。
What do we plan?
一瞬で土の壁が。
Yeah, but is this going to crumble into just some dirt, right?
どうなってるんだ。
あとは堀を作りたいな。襲撃者の足を遅らせたいんだけど。
それなら我ら騎士団にお任せを。
Would the moat not already be more than enough?
穴に引っ掛け罠も作りましょうぞ。
いいね。今は皆さんの協力が不可欠です。我々と共に立ち上がってくれたなら、この村は以前よりずっと強く生まれ変わります。
バン様ここで何を？
ちょっと生産系魔術を試してみようと思ってね。
ゆっくりとお腹の底から暖かくなっていく。魔力が指先まで来たら木の繊維一本一本まで意識する。それをひねりまとめて紐を編むようにして強く、さらに繊維を細かく編むと
You make carbon.
ウッドブロックになる。
Okay, wood block. We Minecraft now?
これは何ですか？
繊維ブロック。
Nanofiber. Really?
なんとかナノファイバーみたいなものかな。
ナノ？
So it's going to be nearly indestructible, right?
おお、なんだおりゃ。
バン様がお作りになったんですよ。
へえ。
ずいぶんとありやすね。
思ったより軽くて硬いな。これ試し切りしても大丈夫ですかね？
どうぞどうぞ。
じゃお言葉に甘えて。
れてない。
これって木でできてるんですよね。
岩を切るくらいのつもりで振ったんですかね。
これは意外に。
What do you mean? You use the word nanofiber. And you can, freely model it. Naturally, it's going to be good.
ボン様、魔力は尽きないのですか？
特にそんな気配はないかな。生産系魔術は魔力の消費が激しいから一つ作るのも難しいと聞いたのですが。魔力か。普通はどうなんだろうね。
So this could be one of the reasons why production magic is seen as bad. Because the mana consumption is too high to really abuse it in mass production like he is.
なかなかいいかも。あげる。
加法にします。
What do you want? Also a sword? He can make you a crown, maybe a little accessory.
はい、あげる。ありがとうございます。
あれ？もしかして斧嫌い？
Yeah. I assume it would have been better to give her like an accessory or whatnot.
あまりに素晴らしい斧なので見とれてしまって。
Maybe something for the arms, like a little metal arm band bracelet thingy.
気に入ってくれて嬉しいよ。かわいそうだから今度かわいい装飾品でも作ってあげよう。
Why later? Why not now?
体が痛い。ここまで野営を繰り返してきたからだ。水浴びもできてなくて気持ち悪いし。二人とも元気に振る舞ってるけどかなり疲れが溜まってるはずだ。村の防衛を固める前にまずは衣食住を整えないと。よし、家を作ってみよ
おや。
So we are making a house out of blocks. This is not how you would make a house.
それは。
ここに僕たちの家を建てても大丈夫ですか？
最近は広場として使うことも減りましたからな。領主であるバン様の屋敷を建てるならちょうど良いと思いますぞ。
ありがとうございます。ある程度余裕ができたら豊穣祭や謝肉祭を開催できるよう頑張ろう。さて、家みたいな大きなもの果たして作れるだろうか。
Oh, he just brought all the materials here and now he wants to use his magic to potentially fuse them into a house.
まずは柱、四方を先に準備して大きさを決める。極細の針金をイメージして地面の奥深くに差し込む。その状態で太くしていくとしっかりと突き立った立派な柱ができる。それに接合させて床や壁を作っていき屋根を作る。よし、できたぞ。わあ、すごい。
なんだありゃ。こりゃ一体。
バン様が建てたお家です。
はあ、この短い時間で？
信じられない。
なんと立派な。
バン様の家だそうだ。領主様の豪邸だぞ。
なんだ、僕の生産系魔術はみんなの役に立てるじゃないか。ちょっと大きすぎたかな。
I would have liked a little bit more methodical approach. It also felt like he was just... I'm assuming he used the cubes. That is why they're gone. But I would have liked a little bit lower. Now maybe this is just the one he did, the big one, and the rest of the usage is, you know, a little bit more methodical, more like a city builder. We will see. We still have one more episode for the 3-episode rule, and then I can decide.